Here in San Jose, and welcome to the San Jose State University campus, the Provident Credit Union Event Center, as we are happy to bring you Mountain West Gymnastics on this Sunday afternoon. The San Jose State Spartans with their home debut of the 2024 season, and they will welcome in the Sacramento State Hornets. It's a rematch of a dual meet that happened just a couple of weeks ago in Sacramento. And hello, everybody. Welcome to San Jose. Dave Benz alongside Steph Ralova. And Steph, you think about what happened a couple of weeks ago. San Jose State was able to get the better of Sacramento State, but Sacramento State is showing some signs of improvement. They've gotten a little bit better each week. They had a really good meet last week against Arizona.
They
had
did.
their season high score. Should be interesting here this afternoon.
It's going to be a great meet. It's the home opener for San Jose State. It's leading up to 3 home meets in a row for the girls, so it'll really set the stage for these next couple of meets, I think. And you're right, San Jose State and Sac State are both having incredible seasons so far, and both teams are actually coming off a season-high score, a 194.2 for Sacramento State in Arizona and a 195.625 for San Jose State at their first Mountain West meet this season over in Boise. So it's going to be an exciting meet to watch.
And our first rotation today will be San Jose State starting on the vault, and the uneven bars will be where Sacramento State will begin. And we're going to get a chance to see right away in the first rotation on the vault for San Jose State a couple of players who earned some pretty good honors last week from the Mountain West. Mia Nelson was the co-freshman of the week, and Jade Lopes was the co-vault specialist of the week. We'll get a chance to see right away if she can build off of that.
Exactly. It'll be really exciting. We got some great 10-0 start values on vault, which is hard to come by these days, so it's really exciting. We're hoping to kick the meet off with a great vault score.
And a pretty decent crowd on hand here this afternoon to cheer on the Spartans. This is the first of 4 home meets for them this season, and 3 of them are going to come consecutively.
Exactly. It's kind of nice that Sacramento State is here today for this first opener because they're kind of local, so I think we'll get some fans from both teams here today, which is always nice.
And that was evident during the opening lineups. You see the Spartans being introduced right now. When the Hornets were introduced, there were some fans in the stands making it known that, hey, they're here to cheer on their team today.
Yes, it's fantastic. Hard to do with the 49ers playing at the same time today, but it's exciting to see the turnout that we have regardless.
Wait, there's a football game today?
Oh, no. No.
I had no idea. You're breaking news here. I think people will probably be multitasking. A lot of people will be checking scores on their phone, but this should be a whole lot of fun. What do you expect to see here from San Jose State as they start on the vault?
I'm really excited. I'm excited to see Jade. Her vault has been incredible. It's been really consistent. It's really hard to hit those 10-0 vaults consistently. I'm excited to see some of our freshmen compete today at home for the first time. I think it's really exciting. The adrenaline can be a lot, so it'll be good to see how the team can rein in those nerves and really just copy and paste what they've been doing at practice.
Copy and paste. I like that.
Yeah.
Joanne Bowers, she's been here now 6 seasons, I believe, and it's it's last year they didn't make it to the NCAA regionals. They're right on the precipice of being in that group right now. The top 36, as most people watching this gymnastics are aware, they qualify for the NCAAs. And San Jose State coming into the rankings today at 38th.
Yes, so they're right on the cusp, and they did make it to NCAA regionals last year, but they got eliminated during the play-in, so they're really hoping their goal is to make it again this year, make it a little bit farther. And another one of their goals this season, I was talking to Joanne Bowers, head coach, earlier today. She was talking about how the team has really improved their depth this season. She was saying that their goal was to have 8 deep on each event, and they've really accomplished that. So they're excited to see kind of be able to swap out girls every now and then, be able to rest girls when needed, because they finally have the depth that they need.
Well, there's no question that they will be leaning on that as they go through the season, and we will see San Jose State. They will put out at least 1 gymnast in each event here today as an exhibition. So that's a chance. There's a good look at Joanne. There's a chance for these youngsters to be able to get a score, be able to get a feel for what it's like to be in the event. And you got to love the fact that she does have that depth to try and take advantage of.
That's exactly it. Those exhibition spots are so great for girls who are trying to break into the lineup, or even girls who are resting, but they still want to have that competition mindset. They still want to get that score from the judges and that feedback. So it's really great to be able to do that, especially at home. Also, we're getting a sneak peek here of those brand new leotards the girls have.
Tell me more. I saw this. I watched the Mean Girls Super 16.
Yes.
And so these are a little bit different from the leotards they had then.
These are brand new leotards for the 2024 season, and they are beautiful. I love the open back.
Do we know anything about the designer?
I do not. Previously, their old assistant coach used to design a lot of the leotards himself. I'm not sure if the team still does that.
Well, they look spectacular.
They do.
And, you look good, you play good. You look good, you feel good, you play good.
Exactly.
Or you vault good. You do whatever it is. As long as you're on point with the looks, that's a good place to start.
Exactly.
And we're joking about it a little bit, but it is a subjective sport, right? I mean, the judges, obviously, they can be swayed just like anybody else in watching this. And how much does that matter when you've got something that catches? I know it's not the biggest deal, but you want to look good. You want to start off in a positive equity situation with the judges.
Absolutely. I think the sport has actually evolved quite a bit. It used to be really focused on looks, and there were so many rules around every team having to match exactly, only one piercing per ear, having to cover up tattoos, having to wear skin-colored tape. And I think the sport has really evolved since then, and they've kind of loosened up some of those restrictions and let the girls express themselves a little bit more. But definitely the look, the professional, the clean is definitely what the judges are still looking for.
So the final warm-up's getting in right now by both teams. And again, we mentioned the vault is where San Jose State will begin. The bars is where the Sacramento State Hornets will begin. And there's a look at your lineup. Devin Valuch will get it started for San Jose State, followed by Lauren McPherson, Mia Nelson, Michaela Pitts, Madison Kirsch, Jade Lopes, and Olivia Reardon not on that list, but she will compete as an exhibition on the vault here to get things going. So really getting a good positive start, important. Where do you think Joanne, you've seen Joanne now for a while, how does she like to stack her lineup when it comes to these events?
That's a great question, and it really is. Lineups are so strategic, and it really depends on the team, the year, the girls that you have. But typically you'll see coaches put their most consistent player first to set the stage for everyone else to follow. In case you aren't familiar with how college gymnastics is scored, each team will put up 6 gymnasts on each event, and the top 5 scores will count. So they are allowed to drop their lowest of the 6 scores. So typically you'll see the most consistent girl first, and you'll want the scores to gradually increase from the first girl. So the top scorer or your highest scorer is typically going to go last. That's just kind of rule of thumb. Definitely there are some exceptions. Sometimes coaches will put their most inconsistent player last, thinking that the first 5 will hit and it'll take all the pressure off of that 6th person. But tonight, because of the depth that we're seeing, I really think we're going to see kind of that more traditional lineup with the most consistent player going first and our highest scorer going last to anchor the team.
Well, this is my maiden voyage calling gymnastics, and you just answered a question for me. So you do refer to them as a player, not as a gymnast. A
gymnast, an athlete, a player, however you want to say it. Definitely they lean more into gymnast or athlete than player, but I think teams are just more used to hearing something like player. Listeners at home might be more used to hearing player.
Well, if you're going with player, I'm going with player. And here we go. We are underway. And here is Devin on the opening vault. And how about that landing?
Beautiful. That was a gorgeous Yurchenko full. That's going to be a 9.95 start value. So not quite a 10-0 start value, but her execution on that vault was beautiful.
Another look.
We're looking for straight body in the air. We're looking for amplitude off the table, that big block, height, distance, and look at that gorgeous landing. And the girls are doing a stick-a-thon right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but they are going to tally up all of the sticks that they got throughout the meet today. And people have been pledging dollar amounts per stick. And so at the end of the meet, however many sticks they have, people are going to be donating that money back to the program.
That is amazing. And always trying to be involved in the community. All right, let's go over to the uneven bars now. Sacramento State's Sarah Luttrell. She'll also compete in the vault and the beam and the floor. And she is on the bars right now.
Mounting the high bar, starting off with a beautiful cast handstand to overshoot handstand.
Sarah, sophomore out of Citrus Heights, California.
Beautiful release move. Gearing up for her dismount here. Beautiful full in, tiny step to the side, so she'll take a small deduction there, but overall a fantastic start for the Hornets.
I feel like both of these teams have gotten off to a good start. The score is in for Devin Valuch on the vault, by the way. She got a 9.8 from the judges, and Lauren McPherson already sprinting down and coming off with her landing not quite as clean as what we saw from Devin.
Small step back, but that's okay because she had so much power coming off that table. Check out this height and distance she gets off the table. So much power, takes a small step back. Still a gorgeous vault. It's going to be a big score for the Spartans.
Lauren, the senior out of Gilbert, Arizona. And
a 9.8 for Devin. That's going to tie her season high.
So she matched, yeah, Devin with the 9.8. Still waiting on the score for Lauren, and we're going to go over to Emma Morgenthal as she is getting ready to get on the bars here for Sacramento State. Morgenthaler, excuse me.
It's always a little nerve-wracking having to wait for the judges to salute you. During that time, you definitely want to be going through your mental words to yourself, taking deep breaths. You can see her doing that now.
Emma, a redshirt junior out of Bellingham, Washington. She is ready to go, got the signal.
Mounting the high bar here. Big cast handstand to start. The judges want to see your handstand hit that vertical position, and they will give you a 10-degree kind of grace period. So if you're within 10 degrees of that vertical position, you won't receive a deduction, but anything below that, they will start to deduct. Gearing up for her dismount, a big double lay. Gorgeous landing. And the NCAA actually changed the regulations when it comes to landing, so you are not seeing those big, crazy college finishes as you're used to seeing. They changed it, so you actually need to hold the position for 1 second with your legs straight, legs together, arms above your head. So you're seeing a little bit of a change on landings this season. And
while we were in the replay, Mia Nelson wasted no time, and she comes down and able to get a little bit of height, but didn't stick the landing as clean as she would have liked on the vault.
A nice Yurchenko full, yeah, just didn't quite get the rotation off the table that she was hoping for. So they'll take a small deduction for under rotation on that and a small deduction for that tiny step forward. But she kept her position in the air. She might have been going for that stick a little too hard, but it was still a beautiful vault.
We mentioned Mia was honored by the Mountain West Conference for her performance last weekend during the week. The score for Lauren McPherson on the vault came in at 9.775, by the way. Sarah Luttrell for Sac State on the uneven bars had a 9.7. We're still waiting on Emma Morgenthaler's score on her uneven bar performance, and now Sarah Fitzgerald is waiting for the signal from the judges that she is all set to go.
And that was actually Mia's first time back in lineup in a while. She competed the first meet on vault, but she hasn't competed vault since then. So it's nice to see her back in that vault rotation.
And Mia with a 9.675 from the judges on that vault. She'll also be on the floor today, will be Mia. And there's a look at the judges over at the table. Our judges working this meet today: Kai Sims, Alicia Barovich, Amanda Turco, Evelyn Paradis. Those are your four who will be divvying things up here today. All right, so Sarah Fitzgerald ready to go. Emma Morgenthaler's score is in at a 9.7. She was the previous gymnast on the bars for Sacramento State.
Her lines are just beautiful on bars here. You can really see the extension. Beautiful handstands. And a rather unique dismount. You don't see a lot of twisting dismounts like that nowadays. Really pretty. She landed a little bit with her chest down and forward, so they'll take a small deduction on that. But overall, another great hit.
Meantime, that is no time wasted by Michaela Pitts. It's so funny. It's like after the vaulters, Sac State is waiting to go, and then San Jose State, as soon as the Hornets are done over on the uneven bars, they're going right away. Boom, boom.
Totally. Vault is much, as you can tell, a much faster event, so the judges can judge it a lot faster, whereas bars is a little bit more complex. The routines last a lot longer, so there's more room for deductions and having to add all of those tiny little things up, so it takes just a little bit longer on bars.
Michaela, a sophomore out of San Luis Obispo,
and she does a really unique vault, too. She does a front handspring vault. You don't see a lot of that. Only the most powerful gymnasts really compete that front handspring vault. She does the front tuck with a half twist out of it so she can spot the landing really well.
Steph, we're still fairly even in early in the season. At this point, are the coaches focused more on trying to push the limits, or are they focused more on let's stick to basics and we'll bring in some more creativity a little bit later in the season?
I think they're more trying to stick to their basics right now and get back into a good rhythm. They had to count a fall on beam for their last two meets, and so Joanne was telling me that they were really focusing on practicing those pressure situations at home in practice. So they did a lot of show days this week, trying to put the pressure on the girls to make them feel that adrenaline, feel those nerves, and really rein them in. So I think that's what they're focused on for this meet.
Michaela got a 9.75 from the judges on that last vault, and now over on the uneven bars, Jillian Lastra.
Beautiful shapash to start her routine, followed by an overshoot back down to the low bar. Gearing up for her dismount here, a big double A.
Wow.
Gorgeous landing. That is going to be a huge score for Sacramento State.
I think she's going to be happy with that one. That was
definitely
really impressive.
That is a stick if I've ever seen it. Her feet did not move once they hit that mat. She really dug in.
The freshman out of Valley Center, California.
And we got Madison Kirst here on vault. Another 10-0 start value. A big Yurchenko tuck, 1.5. That is such a difficult vault to land because it has a blind landing. The girls have to try to spot the floor when they hit the full turn twist position and then find it after that second half. So that is a really difficult vault to land, and she did it beautifully. Tiny hop, so that'll be a really small deduction on the landing, but overall, great height, great distance.
When you say really small deduction, like how much of a deduction would a judge take off for that hop?
Yeah, a small hop is going to be 1/10 of a point. A small step is going to be the same, and then a big hop or a big step can be up to 3/10 of a deduction. So it's kind of up to the judges there.
Well, we're waiting on the score for that one, and Bella Lamidi is awaiting the signal from the judges to go. By the way, Jillian Lastro absolutely stuck the landing on the uneven bar. She came in at a 9.8, and they gave Madison a 9.8 as well on that last vault that we just saw.
That is great, and Bella Lamidi is coming off of a 9.8 from their last meet against Arizona, so hopefully she is feeling good. Beautiful Jaeger. Straight into that overshoot. Little toe circle on her squat on there. Gorgeous dismount. They are finding their landings beautifully today.
Yeah, they really are. And you see the reaction out of the Hornets teammates over there. Well, we're in the replay of it, and well-deserved, but her teammates are fired up.
Very exciting. Here we go, Jade Lopes on vault.
Jade had 9.9 last week.
Beautiful.
And she might get a 9.9 here.
Hopefully we'll get the replay here. That was a gorgeous vault. The team is pumped up. Amazing. Again, another blind landing that she finds flawlessly. And she's landing in that perfect position that the judges are looking for. Legs together, knees straight, arms above her head, holding that position. She is so excited about it, you can tell.
Jade, the senior out of Fairfield, California. We'll see her also on the bars in the floor today, but you think she liked it?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Wow. What a beautiful vault. That is going to be another great score for the Spartans. What a way to start the meet.
And they gave Jade a 9.85, so not quite the 9.9 she got a week ago, but a 9.85.
Still an incredible score. So it looks like our team vault score is going to be a 48.975 for the Spartans. That's a great way to start the meet.
Yeah, they still have not posted the score for Bella Lamidi on the bars. And Kara Houghton is waiting to finish the rotation here for Sacramento State.
Yep, and Kara's coming off of a 9.8 from her last meet as well against Arizona, so hopefully feeling good about bars today. Nice to be local, not having to travel.
And Kara, you see out of Parker, Colorado, which is really Denver. I lived in Denver for 3.5 years. Parker is just a suburb of Denver, Colorado.
Can see her singing and dancing a little bit. That's always good. Hopefully shaking out those nerves and getting ready for her routine.
How hard is that to wait for that signal to go?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. You have so much adrenaline. It's really trying to remind yourself of your main focus for the day, taking those deep calming breaths. Some people like to sing, they like to dance, they like to get those jitters out. So it kind of looks like that's the approach she was taking.
All right, so they finally posted Bella's score, 9.725, and now Kara Houghton to finish it off on the rotation for Sacramento State.
Starting with a mount to the high bar. Gorgeous first handstand. Beautiful straddle Jaeger. Another hit handstand. The judges are looking for those vertical handstands, and if you can hold that handstand and show them that you are vertical, there is no room for them to take any deduction there. That is exactly what they want to see.
A little bit of a hop, but overall, that was pretty impressive.
That was a great routine. What a great start for the Hornets. She did have a little, let go of the bar a little bit early, little under-rotated, lost some of that height, so had to take that small hop forward.
And now Olivia Reardon, this is an exhibition vault for Olivia.
Gorgeous Yurchenko half.
The freshman out of University Place, Washington.
They are really fighting for those landings. You can see her foot took that tiny shuffle forward, but she was fighting for that stick. We can see it.
So again, they dropped the lowest score out of the 6 that were counting. Obviously, Olivia, as we mentioned, was an exhibition, so that score won't count anyway, even though she will be awarded a score.
Yes.
And that's just more a measurement of where you are, and maybe gives you some ideas on what maybe you need to work on.
Exactly. It gives you great feedback from the judges and how they'll be scoring you. It puts you in that high-pressure situation where you can really focus on those nerves and just get some great experience overall.
Well, as we wait, they finally just did post it at 9.825 for Kara Houghton. And how tight is this? 48.975 to 48.750 through the first rotation. San Jose State with a very slim lead.
Yes, 2/10 separating the teams. What a way to start the meet. It's going to be an exciting day.
All right, so as they make their way over to swap locations for the rotation, there's a look at the scores for San Jose State. And again, the top 5 combined to get you that 48.975. So they do have a slim lead, and they'll hope to build on that lead as they switch over for the rotation. We'll have the second rotation coming up after this quick timeout. Stay with us. You are watching San Jose State and Sacramento State here from the Provident Credit Union Center Arena in San Jose. Steph Rilova, happy to have you along as we bring you this Mountain West broadcast between San Jose State and their not-so-distant neighbor, Sacramento State, and Devin Valuch. Tied her season high on the vault and trying to do the same on the uneven bars.
Yep, and we just saw a gorgeous routine from Devin Valuch on bars. Beautiful hit routine. Gorgeous piked Jaeger. That's an E. That's one of the hardest skills you can do in college gymnastics. Gearing up for her dismount here with that big double leg to that stuck landing. Absolutely gorgeous.
And now on the vault, Bella Lamidi goes for Sacramento State. She was actually their second vaulter. Grace Gilman started off the vaulting for Sac State with a 9.8. And you see.
And a gorgeous vault by Bella. She did a Yurchenko tuck full. She gets great height and amplitude off the table.
Little bit of a hop.
That'll be a small deduction on her tiny hop backwards. Judges are looking at her chest position as she's landing as well.
The score is in meantime for Devin Valuch on the uneven bars, and 9.75 for her. That matches her season best. So she's matched her season best, has Devin both on vault and bars. That's a good start for her today. And now on the bars, we've got Jade Lopes.
And both teams are actually competing their best events right now. So San Jose State's actually ranked 37th in the country right now on the uneven bars. Gorgeous stick by Jade Lopes. That is exactly what the judges are looking for in those landings. And the team is excited for her.
Another look at the finish here for her.
Gorgeous. Look at that smile. I love to see it.
And you and I were talking in the break. We feel like maybe she got underscored a little bit on the vault. Meantime, Rose Wilson, while we're in replay, she gets her vault away for Sacramento State.
Yes, a gorgeous Yurchenko half. Beautiful landing with a tiny step forward. She had a lot of power coming out of that. And this is Sacramento State's best event right now. They are ranked 49th in the country on vault. You can see she had a lot of power coming out of that. Great height, great rotation. Had to take that big step forward, but still a beautiful vault.
Sacramento State coming into the day 56th overall in the national rankings, as they too hope to be able to creep into that top 36. So that's probably going to be a 0.3 deduction on the landing. With that's a big hop.
That's a big step, yeah. Would probably give that a 2/10 deduction. She slid that back foot a little bit, could be up to 3/10.
Meantime, Jade Lopes, her score finally is posted for her performance on the uneven bars, and a 9.775. That matches her season best. And now Sophia Konechny. I'm going to let you say her last name the rest of this broadcast. I'm just going to go with Sophia.
She's got a tricky last name, Konechny. Great overshoot handstand, gorgeous straddled Jaeger. And she is hitting those handstands flawlessly. Gearing up for her dismount here, a double layout. Ooh, tiny hop. You could see her big toes digging into the ground trying to hold on to that stick, but she had just a little bit too much forward rotation. Teeny tiny hop forward. Gorgeous routine for the Spartans.
Could see it on her face that
exactly.
she's like, oh, I just missed it.
She's fighting so hard, trying to get those sticks for the stick-a-thon.
And while we were showing you the replays, Emma Morgenthaler with her vault. And we'll get you some replays of that. It's the vaulters there, they're wasting no time. Boom, boom, boom,
those
going
vault
right
judges
down.
are fast today. Great Yurchenko full. She landed with a little bit of a deeper squat on that landing, so they might take a little deduction there. Teeny tiny hop back, but beautiful lines in the air. Great body position. Nice height off the table. Another good vault for Sacramento State.
And the previous vault for Sac State was Rose Wilson. She was awarded a 9.65. We're still waiting for this one for Emma from the judges. And also waiting for Sophia's score on the bars.
Yeah, and the way scoring works for college gymnastics, you can almost think of it in two parts. There's a difficulty score, and then there's an execution score.
And they just posted Sophia's score. As you see, Jada getting ready to go, but Sophia, a 9.825. And if she had stuck that landing,
oh my gosh,
my goodness.
I know. That was a gorgeous routine. Her lines are just beautiful.
Meantime.
Great first handstand for Jada. Gorgeous pike Jaeger. Again, that is an E difficulty. That's the hardest skill you can do in college gymnastics is an E.
Fifth-year senior out of Calgary.
Gearing up for her double A dismount here.
Boom!
Wow, that is an incredible routine. The judges are not going to have a lot to take on that one. You can see the team is so excited for her. She landed in just the perfect position. That's going to be a huge score for the Spartans.
Worth another look as she sticks it.
Wow. You can see it in her face. There was not much to take on that routine.
She liked it a lot. She liked it a lot. Meantime, Sarah Luttrell just vaulted for Sac State. And get another look at Sarah.
A great Yurchenko full. Her body position in the air is gorgeous. She had a little too much power coming out of that, so took that small step backwards. Definitely a controlled landing, though, and she's landing with her chest up nice and high, which the judges are looking for. That's going to be another great vault for Sacramento State. Both of these teams are off to a fantastic start.
Sacramento State still looking for their first meet win of the season. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast they did fall to San Jose State in a dual meet 2 weeks ago today. And they did post a 9.8 for Sarah Luttrell on that vault. And Jada, how good is this? A 9.875 was her score for that last uneven bars.
That is huge.
Oh, wow. Lauren McPherson, she got
Gorgeous
some air and some
Tkachev.
separation there.
I know. A beautiful Tkachev. Big height over the bar. Gorgeous overshoot handstand.
Good verticality there.
Little bit of an arch on that handstand, so they'll probably take a little deduction there. And a small step on the dismount, but overall another great routine for the Spartans. It's hard when you're trying to hit those handstands, you're trying to be aggressive. Sometimes you can go a little too hard and you'll have to pull it back. Takes a lot of strength to stay on top of the bar like that.
Well, we'll see what the judges think of that one. Meantime, Rylan Zimmerman for Sacramento State moments ago just finished her vault to end the rotation on the vault for the Hornets, and we'll show you the replay on that one here momentarily. And here it is.
Gorgeous Yurchenko full. Didn't quite get the rotation that she needed, so she had to take that small step forward. So it's going to be a little bit of a deduction for chest down, little deduction for that step forward. Another great vault, though. Another hit routine.
Did she get enough verticality on that?
I think she had enough height. I think she didn't have enough rotation. She needed a little bit more flip to get her around.
And a 9.675 for Rylan on that vault. Still waiting for them to post the score for Lauren McPherson on the uneven bars, and they just did, right as I said that, a 9.85. So these are some really impressive scores going up for San Jose State.
That is what we like to see. The first 5 girls up, hitting their routines, and then the 6th one is just icing on the cake for us.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Now, so now you've got Catherine Waymiller getting set to go, and she has to feel pretty good about what her teammates have done. What does that do to her mindset?
Oh, my gosh. It takes so much pressure off of you. Because now no matter what you do, you know the team has a great score counted. So now she can relax. She can do exactly what she's been doing in practice. And that looks like what she's doing right here for us. Gorgeous handstand there, gearing up for her dismount. A beautiful double way. Oh, the Spartans are pumped about that bar rotation. That is huge. That is probably going to be our best bar rotation of the season.
Yeah, and Jada Missouri had the best individual so far at a 9.875. Could Catherine best that score?
I think she could. Fingers crossed. Let's see. And that is a wrap on vault, but we do have one exhibition routine on bars for the Spartans, and that is going to be, oh, actually we have 2 exhibition routines for the Spartans. It's going to be Olivia Reardon and Trinity Johnson. So these routines are not going to count towards the overall team score, but it's great to get the athletes that experience, get them the adrenaline, see how they handle the nerves, and see how we can rotate them into the actual lineup for the next couple of meets.
Still waiting on the score for Catherine Waymiller's final counted performance on the uneven bars. And why is it a slower process getting the scores for the bars versus the vault?
There's just a lot more to score on bars. Like I said, all of the girls are going to start from a base score of a 9.4 on bars. That's what their score is going to be taken out of. So the judges...
I interrupt you because they just posted Catherine at 9.925.
Amazing. That is a 49.25 team score for the bars. That is incredible. That could be the highest of the season. We'll have to do a double check on that.
Meantime, we get Olivia Reardon with her exhibition here on the bars.
Gorgeous overshoot handstand there. Gearing up for her dismount. A beautiful double A, tiny step to the side there, so small deduction on the landing, but overall, what a great exhibition routine. It is really incredible to see the depth that San Jose State has on this event. They could so easily swap in their exhibitions into the main lineup without any problem.
Well, I can tell you that 9.925 for Catherine on the bars, that ties for the 6th highest score on the bars in San Jose State history.
Wow. That is amazing. That is probably a career high for Catherine.
I would imagine it is because she's not listed higher in the all-time in the all-time rankings for that. That was really impressive what we saw right there. And so San Jose State, they open up a little bit of breathing room here as we still have one more exhibition matchup, one more exhibition performance to come here on the bars. But right now, the team score, San Jose State has opened up a little bit more breathing room. We sit at 98.225 for the Spartans, 97.325 for Sac State. So 0.9 points margin right now in favor of San Jose State.
And here we have Trinity Johnson doing her exhibition routine on the uneven bars. Mounting the low bar here, starting with a beautiful handstand. Into a Maloney.
Trinity Johnson, a junior out of Riverside, California.
Beautiful overshoot down to the low bar, gearing up for her dismount here. The energy from the team is amazing. And another stuck dismount. You can tell the team has been drilling those dismounts, practicing those landings all week.
Well, Trinity has not performed in a scored event yet this year for San Jose State, but she's trying to make an impact, trying to convince Joanne Powers that she's ready to contribute to this year's team. And she's got to be happy with that dismount.
Absolutely, and that is a wrap on our second event.
All right, so through two rotations, as I mentioned, it is a 0.9 point lead. 0.9 points? I mean,
9/10.
9/10 of a point lead in favor of San Jose State. So we'll take a quick breather while they switch locations here at Provident Credit Union Event Center, and we'll be back with more after this timeout from San Jose. Here in San Jose, there you see the score, 97.325 for Sacramento State, and the San Jose State Spartans with a 98.125.
Yes, the Spartans.
And that is different than the score that I have on the online scoring. I have 98.225 for San Jose State, so we'll have to get some clarity on that. That is you've got a 98.125 on your stats.
I
so
do.
There are two different stats feeds that you can look at. I was told to use this one, the Vitris one, and you're on the other one, 98.125. So I'm going to go with what you have.
Okay, sounds good.
In either case, San Jose State has a lead right now. Dave Ben, Steph Frolova in San Jose. Happy to have you along watching this. And this is the first year San Jose State has been a member of the Mountain West, one of 4 teams in the Mountain West Conference for gymnastics. How big a deal is that, Steph?
It's really exciting. I mean, they used to be a part of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, which is a different conference. It still exists, but they got to move into this new conference. They actually had their first Mountain West meet last weekend over in Boise, where they got to compete against their whole conference. Really exciting. They had a great meet. They placed second, only a few tenths behind Boise State, so I think it was a really great start.
And we are underway with this third rotation. Marissa Ashton is on the beam for San Jose State.
Yes, and she is coming off of a 9.725 at their last meet against Boise, so coming off a pretty good score. You can hear her beam song in the background there. A lot of the girls have a beam song that they like to play while they're competing, while they're doing their beam routines. It either calms them down or it pumps them up, and it gets them in the zone for this routine.
And Marissa, she is coming in here with some pretty good credentials, Steph, into her freshman season. 2-time all-around state champion in the state of Georgia.
That is fantastic. Definitely a great addition to this team. Joanne was telling me the freshmen this year have been just a great addition. And a beautiful stuck landing from Marissa. Gorgeous routine. Always good. Being in that leadoff position can be so stressful, and she handled it with grace. What a beautiful start. Got a cool angle there.
That was a great angle from up above. Nice work by our crew here in San Jose. And while we wait for the score for Marissa, Simone Dumas Guzman ready to get things going on the floor for the Sacramento State Hornets.
And Simone is coming off of a 9.7 floor routine from her last meet against Arizona. So coming off of another great routine, hoping to do the same today. Floor and beam are always so fun to watch because you really get a sense of the ladies' personality here. There's a little bit more just fun to be had on these events, I think. Get to see the artistry, starting off with a gorgeous Rudy for her first pass.
Simona Senior out of Micheletto, Washington. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I did look it up today, and I can tell you that it is a suburb of Seattle.
And she is one of the few seniors. We don't have a ton of seniors on the Sacramento State team. We actually have 7 freshmen on the team. That is an incredibly young team. I was asking the girls about that earlier today, how they felt the freshmen were integrating with their team, and they said it's been great. They love their freshmen. They did a lot of team bonding at the beginning of the year to really get them integrated into the team culture, and they're feeling really good about where the team is at this year.
Yeah, and they're showing off a little bit of depth with those freshmen. They've used 12 gymnasts in their lineup this season, and a third of them have, as you mentioned, been freshmen.
That's great. Front layout connected to a front full, got really close to the line there, but stayed inbounds. What a great way to start the floor rotation for Sacramento with a beautiful hit floor routine.
And she gets some accolades from her teammates. And while she was on the floor, Marissa Ashton had her score posted on the balance beam at 9.725.
That matches her score from the last meet. She is consistent. That is what you love to see in a leadoff position on beam. As I was saying earlier, the scores on floor and beam, all the girls actually start from a 9.4 start value, and they have to accumulate 0.6 of bonus throughout the routine through the difficulty of their skills. And then from there, once they get to that 10-0, the judges will then deduct points based on execution.
Well, speaking of execution, that was well executed by Devin Valuch.
Beautiful, a beautiful flick lay for her flight series. A front tuck salto. That is pretty difficult. You don't see a lot of front tuck saltos in NCAA gymnastics. Very unique. Beautiful split leaps there. The judges are looking for a full 180 degrees in their split leaps. Gearing up for her dismount. A round off 1.5. Great rotation. Took a small step forward because of all the power she had coming off the beam. Another great hit routine for the Spartans.
How much do the judges take that into account, the power that you had that results in the step?
They definitely do take it in consideration. If you were to take a step forward, that's going to be a 1/10 deduction. If you were to take a step backward, however, that's going to be a 1/10 deduction for the step and a 1/10 deduction for under rotation, meaning not having enough power.
All right, so we'll wait on the score for Devin and Rylan Zimmerman now on the floor for Sacramento State.
Leading off with a front layout connected to a front Rudy.
And I'm liking the musical choice here with a little Metallica.
I know, it's kind of fun. beautiful leap combination. A lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to the jumps and the leaps on floor, but they are just as important as the tumbling passes. And some athletes even get more bonus from their leap passes than their tumbling. Gearing up for her second pass here. A beautiful double tuck. Very controlled landing on that. Some fun dance elements here too. And the judges are really cracking down on the girls holding their final pose for a full second before standing up to salute. That is another part of the changes to the landings.
And she did. It looked like that back heel got on the line there.
Yes, on the line actually is in bounds. Once you step over the line, that's considered out of bounds. So
as long as any part of the foot is on the line, you're okay.
You're good. If part of your foot is over the line, though, that's out of bounds. We got Madison Kirsch here on beam, starting with that really unique mount, that back handspring onto the beam. Gearing up for her flight series here, which is actually very unique. It is a back handspring connected to an anodi, which is an E. That is the hardest skill you can do in college gymnastics. And she did it flawlessly.
Madison out of Scottsdale, Arizona, has a twin sister who's a member of the dive team for Arizona State.
Athleticism runs in their blood.
A little bit of a hop there coming off on the dismount.
Beautiful routine from Maddie. Her routine is probably the fastest beam routine I have ever seen. She is able to get so much bonus from the difficulty in her routine with so little skills. Ending her routine with a back handspring connected to a 1.5. Another gorgeous hit routine for the Spartans.
Well, she seemed happy with it. By the way, we can tell you Devin Valuch on her balance beam got a 9.75. Rylan Zimmerman for Sac State on the floor, a 9.775.
Here we have Athena Jones on floor for Sacramento State.
The California native.
Love this fun dance. You can see her teammates getting into it with her in the background.
Trying to see if they can get their supporters in the stands into it as well.
Starting off with a huge round up back handspring, double tuck. Lots of power coming out of it. Took a small step back. Gymnasts are actually allowed to take one controlled step on floor with no deduction. So out of all of their passes, they are allowed to take one controlled step backwards into a lunge position. Had a little bit of under rotation there on her second pass, but she covered it up pretty nicely. Love to see the personalities come out on floor.
Now I noticed one of the assistant coaches for Sacramento State standing in the corner kind of helping her through. How much do the gymnasts normally use that to be able to kind of say, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing next?
Honestly, it is mostly, it's a little bit of a crutch, and it's mostly an emotional thing, like emotional support, I would say, to have your coach standing there in the corner. The coach really can't do or say much. They can't give you any instruction. They can't give any advice. They're just there kind of for emotional support, and it really does help the girls. Sometimes they stand there and the girls try to spot them in their tumbling pass so they can really get the height off the floor. But really, they're just there for support.
Kind of feel like it's the person backstage at the school play being
exactly.
like, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
No, that's exactly it.
Meantime, Madison Kirsch on the beam, her score has been posted. She had a 9.825, and impressive for Madison. Now Catherine Waymiller, who was so good on the bars, trying to see if she can match that performance here on the beam.
That would be incredible. Gearing up for her flight series here. That is a flip-flop layout. Beautiful. Team is happy about that. And Kat is really just so graceful. She has such beautiful lines and extension. Her leaps are full 180 split. I just love to watch her. It's a gorgeous side aerial for her acro element. The judges actually require the girls to have forward, backward, and sideways motion on beam. Beautiful stuck dismount, gainer full. What a routine from Kat. That is exactly what the Spartans needed right now.
Not sure it's going to be a 9.925 like she got on the bars, but I think that's going to be a score that's going to end up counting in the top 5.
That's pretty hard to match. Oh, yeah. Love to see the confidence here. I know Kat has been doing lots of show routines and practice, so it always is so nice to see all of that hard work pay off.
And now back over to the floor for Emma Morgenthaler.
Emma is coming off a 9.75 from her last meet against Arizona, so coming off a great floor rotation. Hopefully she's feeling confident today. Gorgeous first pass with a Rudy connected to a back layout step out. She got great height on that layout, really controlled landing. Gorgeous 180 splits there. Gearing up for her second pass here. A double pike, beautiful, super controlled landing there. Great height off the floor. It's rare that you see a double pike as the second pass. Oh, she did it as her final pass. That actually makes a lot of sense. The girls get an additional 1/10 in bonus if they end their routine on a double back.
So that was good planning and good execution.
Exactly. She only had a 2-pass routine. Normally you see most gymnasts doing 3 passes in their routine in order to get the bonus that they need to start from a 10.0. Her routine was so difficult, she only needed 2 passes to build up to that 10.0 start value.
So we'll wait on the score for that, and we can tell you Catherine Waymiller, Kat got a 9.825 for her performance on the balance beam, and now Lauren McPherson will give it a go on the beam.
They actually just added Kat to the lineup this week. She was not in the beam lineup last week, so it is great to see her doing so well. Lauren gearing up for her flight series here. She actually does a triple flight series. Not very common. Gorgeously done.
Tough to do that. You don't have a ton of real estate.
It takes the whole beam. No, exactly. For those watching at home trying to picture it, the beam is only 4 inches wide. That is smaller than the length of your iPhone.
I don't think I could walk the beam.
It takes so much balance and strength. And then also with the adrenaline, the added adrenaline from the competition, trying to dial back those nerves, trust your training. Beam is the most nerve-wracking event by far. Ending with a round off 1.5, small step back, tiny bit of under rotation there, but other than that, a beautiful routine. That's going to be another big score for the Spartans.
Next up on the floor for Sacramento State,
And while we get one last look at that and wait for the score, we can tell you Emma Morgenthaler with that 2-pass routine on the floor, a 9.85. So that's the best score so far on the floor for Sacramento State. And now Grace Gilman takes the floor here for the Hornets.
A 9.85 for Emma. That is going to be her season high. Beautiful leap pass. Front layout to front full for her second pass here.
Grace, a junior out of Redmond, Washington.
Love hearing the team get into this routine. Great energy. Gearing up for her final pass here, taking a deep breath. Gorgeous double tug, landing with that chest up. And like I said, the girls are allowed to take one controlled step out of their passes with no deduction. That is an awesome floor routine for Sacramento State.
Sac State feeling pretty good about their performance on the floor, but San Jose State trying to keep the pressure on the beam.
Here we got Sophia Konechny on beam. She has a nice, calm beam song. Big switch leap, gorgeous split jump. Getting ready for her flight series here. Back handspring, back layout, gorgeous.
Junior out of Denver, Colorado. Able to maintain her balance there.
Sometimes the leaps and the turns can be the hardest parts. Those are supposedly your easier skills, but sometimes when you have all those nerves and all that adrenaline, they kind of get away from you. She did a good job of pulling it back though. Back handspring gainer full for her dismount there. Another beautiful routine for the Spartans. I can see Joanne smiling. She is happy about another hit routine. Another look at her flight series there. Absolutely beautiful. Took a little bit of a step on that dismount. Got a little ahead of herself there, but a gorgeous routine from Sophie.
We'll see how the judges scored. Even before her score has been posted, San Jose State at 48.95 in this rotation, so that can only go up.
Exactly. That is exactly what the Spartans needed. Joanne was telling me they just needed to stay on.
Meantime, Sarah Luttrell, she needs to make something happen here for Sacramento State.
Wow, gorgeous double pipe to start her routine, and notice she doesn't have a mat on the floor. I always think that is just wild. Nothing to cushion that landing. Front layout connected to a front full.
That's all about comfort level, really, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. The mats are there to protect your ankles. They're there to protect your joints. But some girls don't feel that they need it.
The sophomore out of Citrus Heights, California. Good things are happening for the Hornets, Steph, as they will have a brand new practice facility that is going to be opening in February.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that. That's great. I know they practiced at a club gym for a long time, so it's great for them to finally have their own practice facility.
Yeah, they're just a couple weeks away from moving into that.
Wow, and a gorgeous double tuck to end her routine here. That is going to be a very big score for the Hornets.
She holds the pose.
She does, and the team is so excited for her.
That is impressive right there.
Right? The height is just amazing. And we have our first exhibition routine for San Jose State on the beam. It's going to be Jada, Missouri.
San Jose State will also send Olivia Reardon out for an exhibition. Again, these next two performances on the beam will not count, but they will be scored by the judges.
Love Jada's beam song. We got a lot of country girls on the San Jose State team. Doing our flight series and just not quite square over the beam. You can see coming out of her back handspring, her hips came open a little bit and she just couldn't pull it back onto the beam.
So when you're doing an exhibition though, wouldn't you'd rather see your gymnast go for it, right?
Yes, absolutely. You want to see that aggressive, all out on their skills. So I'm glad to see she's doing that. Great way to finish. And again, this score does not count towards the overall team score.
And we will get a floor exhibition now for Sacramento State. Kara Houghton will take the floor. By the way, Sarah Luttrell, a 9.85 goes up on the board for her to close out the scoring portion for Sacramento State. So Sacramento State a 48.8. Meantime, Sophia got a 9.675 for her performance on the bar. That did not factor into the top 5 scores for San Jose State. So they hold at a 48.95 through that rotation, and Sacramento State a 48.8. So the lead overall just grows here a little bit further for San Jose State.
Yeah, that is a great beam score for San Jose State. That's exactly what Joanne was hoping for. And Luttrell, that 9.85 for her, that is going to be a season high. So a great score for the Hornets.
Kara playing to the crowd a little bit here.
Love to see her team doing the choreography with her on the sidelines. Gearing up for her final pass here. Round off back handspring, double pike. Little bit short on the landing there. So they'll take a small deduction for under rotation and a small deduction for that step forward. Overall, a great exhibition routine for the Hornets.
Well, the sophomore out of the Denver area. How much will they go back and break down the film? Is there a lot of film study in gymnastics?
No, so the judges are meant to judge as they see it.
I mean by the coaches and by the
gymnasts.
Coaches
and athletes, absolutely. They record every single routine. They watch every routine. There is a lot. It's hard to know what your body position is looking like when you are in the skill. So the video playback helps so much in making those incremental corrections.
And I would imagine, and I know this to be true with a golf swing, right? You think you see it in your head one way.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you see the video and you're like, wait, I'm doing that?
Yes. The coaches can tell you all they want, but when you see it with your own eyes, it finally clicks.
Olivia Reardon finishing off the exhibition performance on the beam here for San Jose State.
Very difficult flight series that she does there. Back layout connected to a back layout. Beautiful dismount with that gainer full.
And a nice recovery by her nearly lost her balance. So when you're judging it like that, and they do nearly lose their balance, but they recover, do you end up having a deduction for that?
You do, yes. So any wobble, bobble, anything that you see that looks accidental, the judges will be taking a deduction for that. Even if it's just a pause, they will take a deduction for a pause. They want it to look like you are tumbling on the floor, even though you are tumbling on a 4-inch beam.
But overall, a very good rotation for San Jose State as they grow the lead even further. We'll update you on the score and have the final rotation of this dual meet coming your way after this quick timeout from Provident Credit Union Event Center here in San Jose State. They have over a full point advantage against Sacramento State. Some breathing room and a likely, we did not done yet, but a likely meet victory here in this dual meet between these two Northern California rivals.
Oh, I never want to speak too soon, but it's looking that way. And San Jose State is coming off of a fantastic beam rotation. They scored a 48.95 for the team score on beam. That is the highest beam score that they have had this season, so I know they are feeling excited about that. Floor is kind of where you can use your adrenaline to your advantage, so hopefully we see them having some fun, getting those jitters out, interacting with the crowd, and ending on a high note.
See the scoring for Sacramento State here today, and that was a pretty impressive performance by Sarah Luttrell on the floor, a 9.85.
Yeah, her season high, so she is feeling good about that. I'm hoping that their confidence coming off of a hit floor rotation will carry into beam for them.
So San Jose State on the floor and Sacramento State going over to the beam to finish this off. And we will begin with Sacramento State on the beam, and it will be Emma Morgenthaler who will get the first go here. But what has stood out to you most overall about this meet here today?
I love seeing the girls at home. I love seeing how comfortable they feel. I love seeing the confidence from them. I think that's really key. And I think having them hit that beam rotation was huge as well. Like I said, it's been kind of a sore spot for the team, and they've been struggling a little bit with just staying on. And I know Joanne put a big focus this week on show routines, on pressure routines, and I think it's great to see all of the work that they've put in practice really come to fruition in this meet.
How important is it to get the team victory here, and how much does that count in the standings as we talk about the top 36?
The victory over Sac State overall is not going to be super important. What's more important is the score that they get. They're always striving to get a higher score than last season. That's what's going to bring their NQS up, which is their national qualifying score, which is what is going to get them to that NCAA regionals, so that they can try to move on and progress a little bit further to nationals.
Emma Morgenthaler on the beam for Sacramento State. So far today.
Fantastic start for her. She had a beautiful flight series, pike jump, which is pretty unique. Little balance check there, but she recovered really nicely. Gearing up for her dismount here is going to be a round off 1.5. Little bit of power coming out of that. Took one small step forward. That's going to be a tiny deduction, but overall, a fantastic start for the Hornets. Always great to see a hit routine starting the rotation.
Loving that high angle shot.
Little too much power coming out of that dismount. Took that small step forward.
So we'll wait on the scoring for that while Natasha Forand gets on to the floor here for San Jose State.
Yes, and San Jose State is coming off of their highest floor score of the season over at Boise. Natasha coming off of a 9.85 from the last meet. Hoping we can see a similar performance today.
See, Natasha from Houston, was born in the Philippines.
Starting off with a huge Rudy connected to a back layout step out. Love seeing her attitude, her personality coming out here.
I loved in prepping for this, Natasha, in the little personal notes section, her lifelong dream is to own a theme park.
I love that. That is so cute. I hope she does.
I just want unfettered access to a theme park
Yeah.
with no crowd. I don't necessarily
Exactly.
need the headache of owning it.
Oh my gosh. Natasha's second pass here. Round off back handspring, double pike. Gorgeous controlled landing there. Like I said, gymnasts are allowed to take one controlled step back out of their passes with no deduction.
Holds the pose at the end.
Exactly, and she is so excited about that hit routine. Another 2-pass routine, ending with that double pike, gives her that extra 1/10 bonus. You can see her squeezing her body to make sure that landing is looking nice and controlled. Big height on that first pass. Some really fun dance. Over on beam, we have Mallory Barron starting off with a gorgeous wolf turn, pretty unique. Getting ready for her flight series here. Back handspring, back layout. Not even a wobble.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely
impressive.
centered.
Um,
A little bit off on her side aerial there. You could see her hips were just a little too open as she was landing and couldn't save it. It can be really hard for a team when there's a fall early in the lineup, but it's always a good sign when they jump right back up and they can finish the routine to the best of their ability, because you never know what's going to happen later down in the lineup. This score might still count, so she is going to finish it to the very best of her ability.
that's so hard to do, though, to maintain that mental focus when you're up there and you're like, I've already blown this.
Oh, absolutely. It is so hard to stay in the moment, stay present, know your team is still counting on you. Front full dismount, tiny hop forward, great recovery.
And her coach there to give her a hug, even though she knows she needed a hug right there.
She did, exactly. I will say beam is one of those events where you really never know what's going to happen. You see falls on beam from Simone Biles at the highest level all the way down. There is just no telling what's coming from beam. It is all repetition, muscle memory, but even still, it's a toss-up.
Meantime, Kat Waymiller now getting ready to come onto the floor here for San Jose State.
And we have Emma Morgenthaler score a 9.7. That's a great start for the Hornets.
It's been a pretty good day so far here for Kat. 9.925 on the bars and a 9.875 on the beam.
Hopefully she is feeling confident for this floor routine, coming off those two beautiful routines so far.
Catherine, a junior out of the Denver area, hopes to become a clinical psychologist when her college and gymnastic career is over.
Gearing up for her first pass here is going to be a round off 1.5, connected into a front layout. Love seeing that smile from her.
By the way, if you're watching this at home, we will be on the air again next Sunday with the second straight home meet for San Jose State. But if you're in the area, why not come out to San Jose? Following the meets, the San Jose State Spartans have a dance party.
Yes.
With the youngsters in attendance, and they'll be doing an autograph session today as well.
Beautiful leap pass from Kat. Love seeing her flexibility. she's gearing up for her last pass here. We got another 2-pass floor routine, double pipe to end it.
Impressive landing.
Gorgeous landing, taking that one controlled step back. We love to see it. And holding that ending pose. The team is excited about that one. That is going to be another big score for Kat today.
It's
she
been
is
a day
on
of
a
big
roll.
scores. Oh, look at the arrow. That was impressive. Everybody goes down for the Spartans.
I know. Love to see that team energy.
Choreographing the celebration on top of the
Yes.
routine. That was really fun.
Floor is always so fun to compete at home.
And now back over to the beam where Ryland Zimmerman will try to pick things up. Mallory Barron, her score has been posted at 9.175 after that fall. So the pressure on the remainder of these Sac State gymnasts on the beam to try and pick things up for Mallory.
Yes, and starting off with a gorgeous triple flight series from Ryland.
By the way, I could see the judges. They haven't posted it, but the judges on the cards, they just held up a 9.85 for Kat Waymiller, and actually 9.875 as they put it up on the board. Wow, what an afternoon she has had.
Front gainer full for her dismount. Pretty unique. Lots of power coming out of it. Took that small step forward. That's going to be a small deduction. But a great routine for the Hornets. Great pickup and recovery after the fall that they had. Hopefully they can continue that way.
Another look at the dismount for Ryland Zimmerman.
Big jump series hitting that 180-degree split. Here we have Lauren McPherson on floor for the Spartans.
And a high bar for her is Natasha at a 9.825, Catherine at 9.875.
Hopefully we can continue to build from there. First pass for Lauren, starting with a huge double pike. So much power in that.
And you see Lauren with the brace.
Absolutely. She is so graceful. She has beautiful lines, so much flexibility.
I did say brace, but she also had grace.
Oh! 1.5 connected to a front layout. Gorgeous. We'd love to see her smile coming out. Showing off that flexibility.
Being encouraged by her teammates.
Yes.
As she gears up for the finish here.
Deep breaths before that last pass, always needed. Big double tuck to end it. Again, that additional 10th in bonus. Holding that final pose. Another incredible routine for the Spartans.
Spartans just continuing to get separation here.
Taking another look here at Lauren's final pass, that double tuck. She has so much power. It is crazy.
Hard to stick the landing with that kind of power, but
Exactly.
so back over to the beam now.
Athena Jones on beam for Sacramento State. Back handspring, back layout for her flight series. Beautiful.
Athena also competed in the floor a short time ago, 9.65 for her in the floor.
Gearing up for her acro here. That is a beautiful side aerial. Not even a bobble coming out of it. Nice and square over top of the beam. Gearing up for her dismount here. Round off 1.5 to a stuck landing. Her teammates are excited about that.
A little bit of a wobble, but she's able to catch herself.
Taking another look at that stuck dismount there. Absolutely beautiful. That is exactly what the Hornets need right now. They are recovering so well from that minor setback. Love to see her fight for that landing.
And we'll wait for her score while the Spartans get the floor set here for Jade Lopes.
And Jade Lopes is coming off of a 9.9 from last weekend at Boise State. That is a phenomenal score. Hopefully we can see something similar today.
That was part of a quad meet in which they placed second.
Yep, the first Mountain West meet of the season for them. First Mountain West meet ever, I should say.
First of many.
Yes.
Jade from Fairfield, which is actually geographically slightly closer to Sacramento State than San Jose State. But the Spartans are sure glad to have her.
I love Jade's floor routine. She does a front through into a round-up high handspring, double pike, huge height, huge power, and showing that incredible control in the landing that is so difficult to do. Love her fun dance. Gorgeous 180 splits. Gearing up for her second pass here.
Looking to be a two-pass routine. And
double tuck to end it. And holding that finish position, her teammates are excited about another hit routine for the Spartans.
High bar to try. Oh, look, okay, so everybody's doing the arrow here.
Taking another look at her first pass, that front through to double pike, absolutely beautiful, showing incredible control in that landing. She has just so much power.
Now back over to the beam for Sarah Luttrell. Able to catch herself.
There, yeah. Takes so much strength. You see her moonwalking on the beam there. That is another level of comfort on the beam.
Michael Jackson would be proud.
Yes. Beautiful full turn. Sometimes those basic skills can trip you up, but she did that flawlessly.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Big wobble on her acro there, but she really engaged her core and pulled it back up. That is some incredible fight. Side aerial into a 1.5 dismount, very hard dismount.
Well, she flirted with a lot of disaster there, but averted most of it.
She stayed on. She fought for it.
getting knighted by her teammates.
Taking another look at that very difficult dismount. Side aerial connected into a 1.5 twist. And we have Mia Nelson from San Jose State on the floor. She is coming off of an incredible season high, 9.925 at Boise State last weekend. Hopefully we see another performance similar. I was talking to her teammates earlier, and I said, what are you most excited about for tonight? And they said, Mia's floor routine.
Now, Mia was one of the first San Jose State Spartans to go in this meet as she started in the vault. She hasn't done anything since. How hard is that to gear up and then you got to wait?
Oh, it's so hard. It's hard to keep your body warm. You want to stay moving throughout the meet. You want to be there for your teammates, but you don't want to get too absorbed in what's going on because you need to stay focused for that final performance. And she had a gorgeous first pass, a huge double pike to start her routine. If we have some diehard San Jose State gymnastics fans, we will recognize this as Emma Milne's old floor music. Didn't quite get the height and rotation going into that second pass as she needed. Her legs got out from under her a little bit.
So she won't match the score she had a week ago. But her team is in great position here, so good plan to try and go for it for her.
Definitely.
On the beat for Sacramento State, Kara.
And they're not going to do the arrow celebration. You're seeing the replays. I don't know that any of the arrow celebrations have actually made it onto the telecast.
No, I don't think
they're all lining up, and you know, if you feel like you crushed it, you sling the arrow and your teammates go down.
Yeah. And here we have Kara Houghton, last performer for Sac State.
They will have an exhibition from Grace Gilman.
She had a pretty big balance check coming out of her flight series, but she fought for that and she stayed on. Little wobble there, but nice aggressive leaps, big splits. Gorgeous full turn. Gearing up for her dismount here. Round off, double twist into a gorgeous stuck dismount. So even though she had a couple of little bobbles there, she recovered really nicely and finished the routine.
There's something to build off for her. And that score likely to count in the final scorings with that fall from Mallory Barron.
Yep. The Beam team did a great job recovering from that fall early in the lineup. That is incredibly hard to do.
And now Jada Missouri will round out the scoring portion of this meet.
Jada is coming off of a 9.9 as her last floor performance at Boise State.
By the way, they did post Mia's score with that fall at an 8.975. So Jada, a little bit of pressure on her now as she knows that her score is likely going to count, and she needs to put up a number here for the Spartans.
Gorgeous first pass for Jada. Jada just has so much artistry. I love to watch her dance. I love her leaps. And believe it or not, judges can actually deduct points for artistry on floor and beam. If they are not liking the flow of the routine, if they feel it's not, the dance doesn't flow well, the choreography isn't there, they can deduct for artistry. Double pike to end it. No mat down there too. That is so crazy. Holding that final position. The team is so excited. That's exactly
Big
what they
finish.
needed.
And she's going to go to the bowling routine instead of the arrow out of the quiver.
Oh, I love to see the team's energy. What a meet for the San Jose State Spartans.
By the way, shout out to Matt Taylor and the guys in the truck because they've been quick to get to the replay. That time they stayed with the shot because they felt the celebration coming.
Oh my gosh, that final pass is incredible.
Well,
and here we have
pressure, what pressure? She's like, I'll just go ahead and post another big number for the Spartans. We'll see what that ends up being.
And here we have our exhibition routine for Sacramento State. This is Grace Gilman.
Yep.
And I'm seeing a 9925 for Jada. They haven't flashed it yet.
It is up.
But
9925 is up.
What a way to end the meet.
9925. What did she have last week? 9.9?
9.9 last week, so I believe that's a season high for Jada. Great exhibition routine for Sac State. And there will be an exhibition routine on floor as well for the Spartans, Devin Belush.
9.925 under the top 10 floor scores according to our notes from Amy Vila. That puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the ties for 7th for San Jose State in the history books.
Wow.
And Devin Belush finishing it off the meet here with the exhibition on the floor.
Starting with a double front twist. That is an E in difficulty. That is one of the hardest passes you can do in college gymnastics. Gearing up for her second pass here. 1.5 connected to a front layout. Gorgeous height on that pass. Great leap connections. You can hear the team cheering for her, getting into this floor routine for her last pass. Ending on a beautiful front Rudy.
And finally finishes with the hold.
Excellent as exhibition routine. I can definitely see her joining the floor lineup soon.
And one last look at that. But overall, the San Jose State Spartans feeling very good about the way things went. They finished with a team score of a 49.275 on the floor, and they are going to overall take this meet with Sacramento State.
This is going to be a season high for San Jose State. Always love to see a season high at home.
196.5 is your overall score for San Jose State. And the season high, they just keep getting better each and every week. And if you're Joanne Bowers, you got to like that.
Yes, they topped their season high from last weekend, which was a 195.6, almost a full point better this weekend. That is a great way to set the stage for these next 2 home meets that they have.
And how about Kat Waymiller, though? I mean, her day individually, just 9.925, 9.825, 9.875. All she did today was put up numbers.
Exactly. Doesn't get much better than that.
So We're waiting to find out if we're taking a timeout or if we're just going to keep it here for the closing ceremony. So we're going to show you the final numbers here for Sacramento State. And Sacramento State, they did not match. They had their season high a week ago against Arizona. They fall short of that with their score today of a 194.425. And the Hornets, they felt pretty good about the way things went last week in Arizona and not feeling as good here today.
They had an incredible meet all the way up into that last event, and I'm telling you, beam is a make or break event for college gymnastics. You really never know how it's going to go, and unfortunately, they just had that fall really early on in lineup that I think shook up the girls a little bit. It puts a lot of pressure on the beam lineup when there's a fall, especially when it's early in the lineup, so I really think they recovered the very best that they could and still put up a great score for today.
San Jose State, meantime, they will not have another meet until the one next weekend, February 4th, right back here at Provident Credit Union Event Center, 2 p.m., when Air Force will come to town, and that's going to be their second conference meet of the season.
Exactly. It'll be great to see how San Jose State does against Air Force, another team within their conference, especially at home, coming off of such a high from today.
Well, the dance party is underway, and a lot to feel good about for San Jose State as they win it today, 196.5 to 194.425. So a whole lot of fun. Thank you for making this painless for me.
Oh my gosh, you did a great job.
Steph Rulova, a fantastic job. Matt Taylor and the crew back in the truck bringing it today as well. Dance on. That's what the San Jose State Spartans are doing as they get the victory here today in San Jose. For our entire crew, I'm Dave Bent saying so long. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here as the Spartans will welcome in Air Force for a dual meet in conference.